Hi there. Thanks for tuning in to this super quick video about a major pitfall that you can avoid in naming minor children as beneficiaries on your beneficiary designation forms. My name is Alex Meeks. I'm an attorney and the owner and founder of Acorn Law, a law firm dedicated to helping busy families get their affairs in order. Now, many of the busy families who I work with have a lot of their assets in these kinds of accounts that use beneficiary designation forms. The two big ones are going to be your life insurance policy and your retirement plans. So you fill out these forms and they indicate where those funds should go in the event of your passing. One thing I want to make sure everyone hears is that regardless of what your will says, that form is going to control, and that form is going to be how those particular accounts are going to be distributed. And for a lot of the families, those accounts really make up a large percentage of the legacy that individual has to pass on. So as you're filling out this form, there'll be lines where you can indicate who should get those assets, and you can divide it up even. And some people will get maybe half and half, or you can split it up however you like. Here's what I want you to remember when you're filling that form out. Please do not write the name of a minor child outright. You can include minor children, and I encourage that you do if those people are who you would like to get your funds, but you're going to want to do it in a special way, and we'll get to that. So why don't you want to name a minor child individually outright? Well, you're going to run into two big problems. One is that if a minor child inherits a large sum, you're going to have a guardianship proceeding. And that means court appearances and lawyers and all of these things. And that will stay in place. That guardianship will remain open until that young person reaches majority. So 18 usually. The other big problem, the second big problem you're going to run into, is that there'll be no mechanism in place to ensure that young person doesn't just get the whole chunk of money right when they turn 18, when they reach adulthood. Now, I've represented a lot of children over the years, a lot of young people, and I have encountered a couple of young people who have been in that situation where at age 18, they come into a large sum of money. So from my experience, I can assure you that what typically happens is that suddenly a lot of friends come out of the woodwork, and they have all kinds of ideas about how that young person should spend the money. And you can probably imagine what some of those things might look like. And they're not always the most mature or responsible choices. And the good news is, though, that there are some pretty simple mechanisms you can put in place, some planning you can do now to prevent that, things that you can and should be doing. So what you should be doing is speaking with a legacy planning or estate planning attorney to get your affairs set up in such a way that you have what we call a testamentary trust. So it's a mechanism that allows those funds to be held in trust for that young person until a certain age, wherever you decide is an age where they would be able to handle it appropriately. This is something that is so simple to set up and make such a huge difference. But there's two things I want you to remember. One is get it set up in your planning. But the second one is go back and check all of those beneficiary designation forms and make sure that on that line that you've listed the trust as the beneficiary and not the minor child in their own name. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense. But if you have any questions, any legacy planning attorney is going to be able to walk you through this. It's something that you should be able to set up with no problem at all. So if you live in Maryland or New York and you want to talk through getting this kind of a plan set up, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can make an appointment right on my website. I'd love to talk to you and I'd love to help. And if you live elsewhere, you could also contact me. I'm happy to help connect you with someone. It's just really important that that you take care of this. All right, take care.